Welcome to Auntie K's, your favorite radical queer indigenous auntie, bringing you tarot every day. Hello, and welcome to Auntie K's Tarot. So we are continuing with my look at my RWS Star Wars Tarot clone deck. That is also a world majority deck. And to make a world majority deck, I had to pull from across the universe. Plus, I find it annoying when you get a fan deck and you have, the main character in 20 different cards and the other, sub characters in like 5 or 6 different cards and then a few other characters. That annoys me. So nobody's repeated. Exception. I do have a card with Osha as a child in it. I have an extra card with Osha in it. I have a card with Bail Organa in it. One of the ghosts in the Judgment card of Alderaan blowing up is Bail. But, you really have to look and pay attention to notice. And it's about Leia. So, there's a lot of characters in Star Wars. There's no reason for me to repeat the same character over and over for you. That would be lazy. Also in the alternate, we have Darth Jar Jar, and we have actual real Jar Jar. But, the alternates are extras. Anyhow, I don't want to repeat characters. And I don't need to if it's from across the universe. But that means only some people are going to recognize every character in the deck. So it does have ID cards to make it really quick. And I've cloned the RWS, so you know what card you're looking at. You just need to read tarot and like Star Wars, or like a Star Wars aesthetic to read this deck. All right, let us get into it. We are in the Aces, and for the Ace of Wands, I chose the Ewok Shaman Low Gray on the Forest Moon of Endor. So it's the wands. So a shaman makes a lot of sense here. And he's got his little shaman stick. And so I added the leaves from the card onto it. The Forest Moon of Endor worked really well for that. It's foresty. It has hills. It has water and rivers. And it also has that giant satellite, which, works for this gray, blobby mountain thing. And then we have the Two of Wands. So, for the Two of Wands, I have Senator Giono on Hosnian Prime. The landscape of Hosnian Prime works with the landscape of the Two of Wands. Senator Giono, he amplifies the, let's just stand between these two wands and look to see what ships come in, how things play out, not take any action. He is so Two of Wands. And so I assume he probably has, like most people from big cities in Star Wars, a high up penthouse with a balcony somewhere. So I stuck him on the balcony from the Two of Wands. And I put in some of Hosnian Prime down here below him. There are a few houses and a bunch of trees below the balcony in the actual Two of Wands, and then some water and some mountains in behind. So Hosnian Prime, we've got a city more instead of like a pastoral village, and the water and some mountains. So I felt that worked really well. Better known than Senator Giono is his son Kaz, who appears in the coin soon. And Kaz, unlike his father, goes off to join the Resistance. Next up, we have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is Balin Skull on the giant mortis god mountain carving on Peridia. At the end of Ahsoka, we see Balin Skull standing on like a stone hand of the mortis god. And so like this would be the hand, and he would be like standing here, and you're looking at it from this way as if my face is the mortis god. So we've just switched perspective, and we're viewing Balin from behind. And so we don't really have, the full perspective of the hand. It looks more like a hill, and it works really well for the landscape that we have in the Three of Wands. And Balin has been patient and diligent, and he knows he is heading off on a journey. He sees something the rest of us are not seeing, that he is off and about to. This was a fun card to do because I recreated a specific scene from the RWS card in a specific scene from an actual episode, but from the reverse view than we ever actually see it in. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, Four of Wands. So for the Four of Wands, we have Cut and Sue LeQuain getting married on, I'm going to butcher this, Selukami. So Cut is a clone who deserts, and he falls in love with Terguda and Sue, and they get married. They have a family on this farm, and so instead of a castle, we have their home, which has a bit of like white and red on it because it has an extension built out of spaceship parts, which is pretty awesome. And we got some guests in the background. I pulled Cut and Sue way forward into the foreground compared to the actual card, because it's a fan deck. We want to see the characters. So I did that, and I recreated the the arbor and the greenery they're getting married under, with the flora from the planet that they're on. Okay, so for the Five of Wands, we got artistic license going on here, folks. For the Five of Wands, I decided I was doing clones. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go with clones we recognize. Rex, Wolf, Gregor, Fives, Echo. We can place them with each other, knowing each other. And they're more recognizable when we age up and go later on in the timeline. So I've done that. But everything they wear, even post the Clone Wars, is kind of bland. And everyone's brightly colored in here. I chose to put them into training outfits from their days in Kamino. And that's to bring like some bright colorfulness into this card, because then I put them in the training room of Kamino, which gives us that uneven ground. And it gives us also that brotherhood, training, friendly fight, the more positive aspects of the Five of Wands. It brings that into it, placing it like this. So that's how I made the decision for this card. So there are no lightsabers in the wand suit because I just thought that would be visually confusing. And you'd be like, is that a wand? Is that a sword? I thought that would be visually confusing. So there's no lightsabers in the wand suit. We have wands with the same leaf configurations from the RWS. All right. Speaking of wanting to pull on that light look of the Five of Wands, we recognize the images in the RWS. We know their card meanings. We don't always know the card descriptions. Speaking of which, the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a guy on a brightly colored horse with a staff and a laurel wreath, and all these people supporting him in behind with all their staffs. And when Pixie describes it, your beloved colonizer who liked to dress up and do blackface and, yellow face and all the rest of it, she was white. She did private minstrel shows in the parlors of her rich friends. Anyway, I have a video on it if you want. Those pictures we see of her are from her minstrel shows. But she describes this as the colonization of the Americas, which she viewed as a positive thing in her time, if you want, but also her family on both sides were original colonizers, on both her mother and her father's side. I recreated that in Star Wars. It has the same meaning and a bit more. Six of Wands, Moff Gideon colonizes Mandalore. And we got the trooper facing forward, like the horse's head staring at you. It was some wreckage from Mandalore, which brings in that green color of what the horse is wearing. He succeeded. It's a card about winning at any cost. There's different types of winning and success in the RWS Tarot. And this one is represented by colonization. You totally won, dude. You totally won. And that's what the card is. So it brings in a bit more context. And it was fun to do that. To be like, okay, I'm going to clone this into Star Wars. So this is this, and this is this. And there's some other cards where we do that too. And it's really fun to take those looks at it. So for the Seven of Wands, we have Chirrut Imwe on the fallen Jedi statue on Jeddah. This statue fell a long time ago, long before the Empire, long before the Guardian of the Wills fall. So to be on this hill, fighting everything off, it just seemed like the high ground he's standing on is this fallen Jedi statue while he's on Jeddah. So, him and his buddy there have been defending off a lot of things, including the Empire before they ran into Cassian and Jyn. But, you know, it was a great place to be able to place them. So this is the Seven of Wands, and we will do the rest of the wands in the next video, maybe with less rambling. See you later, folks.